I'm Wendell Jones, and welcome to this special edition of our program. And on our program today, we are going to be speaking about the Special Olympics, the participants of the Bahamas who went to the World Games in Abu Dhabi for 2019. Our program today is also sponsored by Peter Nygard from Nygard International. And we are so pleased that Bianca Nygard is here today, who brings us special guests. How are you doing, Bianca?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Very good to see you.
Good to see you.
And I'm going to ask you first, how do you get these guests from time to time?
You know, our friend Erin Brown, she's been on the show before, she invited me when they came back, and they had a wonderful welcoming home ceremony in the airport. So my children and I went, and it just actually was so beautiful and moved me to tears. Barabbas was there playing junk canoe, and everybody was there to greet the athletes when they came home with flags, and everybody was so happy, and so it was a really grand reception, and it moved me to tears even. And the Stapleton School has actually been to Nygard Key before for some fun days in the past and everything. So it just reminded me that I wanted to get more involved with them again, because it was just so moving, and everybody's so talented and humble and wonderful people. So I invited them on the show today.
Very good. I'm glad that you did. And we have as our guests Gilbert Williams, who is the National Director. Mr. Williams, good to see you.
Good to be here.
And we have Anita Lynx Moncur, who is an athlete, and she is an assistant bocce coach. Yes, bocce coach, and the inspirational ambassador, World Games gold medalist. And then we have Charlicia Bain, who is an athlete, and you got a bronze medal?
Yes.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. Good to have you on the program today.
Thanks.
Good. So how long have you been leading the organization, Mr. Williams?
Since 2016. Previously or prior to that, I've been volunteering with Special Olympics Bahamas. Firstly as a soccer coach, then as a bowling coach, well, soccer and bowling coach. And later on, I became the sports director for Special Olympics Bahamas. And I guess that was all good training ground, because at some point we knew that the organization, in order for it to move forward, would have needed a full-time national director. And so in 2016, I guess all the pieces fell into place. I was invited to become the national director, and I guess the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah, so you're the full-time national director for Special Olympics Bahamas.
Right.
And you took the team to Abu Dhabi?
Right. I also was the head of delegation for the team that traveled to Abu Dhabi, and that was a fantastic experience.
How many people you took with you?
We had a delegation of 36 in total, 23 athletes, and then we had head HOD. We had obviously coaches that were there, also a couple of chaperones, and then we had our medical person there. So it was really a good time.
So you did extremely well, I'm told.
Yes, by our standards, we believe we did. And so, you know, in total, we brought back 14 medals, and that's typically how people measure your success.
Right.
But our success went well beyond the medals that we brought back home. We had a lot of personal bests at those games, people shaving, I mean, tremendous amount of times of their previous personal bests. The experience that the athletes would have gained, and some of the coaches, you just really can't measure it in terms of medals. But be that as it may, yes, 14 medals was what we were able to cart away and bring back home.
14 medals is incredible coming back, huh?
It's
It
incredible,
is.
eh?
It is. It is.
With 30 people?
36, right. 36 in total, 23 competing.
Okay.
Because the rest of us were watching and coaching and cheering on. So the athletes did a tremendous job.
That's excellent. And Anita Moncur, you were the inspirational ambassador.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us about what you did in Abu Dhabi.
Bowling.
You did bowling. How did you do?
Good. Awesome.
Awesome. You got a medal?
Gold medal.
A gold medal? Well, you need to tell us how that came about.
I got the gold medal in singles.
In singles?
Singles.
How many people you competed against? Plenty people. Huh?
What are some of the countries you remember?
I think Sweden was one.
Uh-huh.
I can't really remember the others.
All you know is that you won the gold, right? So you won the gold in the singles.
Yeah.
How long have you been bowling? A long time.
Yeah, I guess. I started when I was in school, and then I stopped and I start again.
Okay.
You were bowling though only about 8 years or so. All before that, you were doing all those other sports. She's an all-around athlete, but she's not really telling you about.
Okay. Tell me about what you've been doing. All these games, all these events.
I did track. I did swimming. I did horseback riding 3 times, and I did bocce and swimming.
Now you gotta excuse me. I don't know what bocce is. What is bocce?
It's like bowling, but it's lawn bowling.
It's like bowling.
Yeah, but it's lawn bowling on a lawn.
Oh, on the lawn. That's bocce. Oh, okay. Okay. You knew that?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I saw the videos.
Okay. Very good. And our little friend here, Chilicia Bain. You got a bronze medal in what event?
200.
In the 200 meters?
Yes, sir.
That is excellent. At the World Games, you didn't bring the medal for me to see.
You didn't bring your medal?
Okay.
She also plays a lot of other sports.
Okay.
What else do you play?
Basketball, soccer, and track.
So how many events did you participate in at the World Games? Just one?
Yes, sir.
Just the 200 meters?
Yeah, just the
200
track
and
and
the
field.
400.
But you did the 400 meters as well. In Special Olympics, athletes are only allowed to participate in one sport. And the maximum events they can participate in is 2 individual events plus a team. Like, so for instance, if we had enough females to do a relay, she could have run a relay as well, but she would have competed in 2 individual events, the 200 and the 400 meters.
It must have been quite a feat to get all of the sponsorship together to get to Abu Dhabi, Mr. Williams?
Well, Mr. Jones, that's a different story, because while we did get some sponsorship, we are actually still paying for that trip. We're still short of sponsors. It was a priority of ours to, we have in our 40-year history, Special Olympics Bahamas, being a part of Special Olympics, we've never missed the World Games. And we were not going to, this was not going to be the first time that we missed a World Games. And so we had some creative minds. We went into debt, paid for the tickets and everything else that we had to pay for. Got the delegation to Abu Dhabi, was quite successful, as you indicated. Getting a lot of pats on the backs, a lot of handshakes, a lot of well done, but we're still looking for some envelopes with checks in it to help to pay for that trip to Abu Dhabi.
How much you need? How much you need right now?
Right now, we need about $50,000 more to wipe out the debt.
To pay off the debt. Well, we're going to make the appeal to anybody who's watching and listening to this program today to assist
Definitely.
Special Olympics Bahamas to wipe out that $50,000 debt.
Right, and as we say to people, and we truly mean it, no donation is too small, and obviously none is too large. On a daily or weekly basis, we have training programs ongoing. In fact, later on this afternoon, we have a local soccer tournament. And $10, for instance, gets us a case of water. You know, so you know, anybody can contribute to the ongoing program that we have going at Special Olympics Bahamas.
And you've been in this for 40 years, not you personally.
Special Olympics, right,
Special
40
Olympics.
years. We've been in the Bahamas for 40 years.
Yeah.
The program itself got started 50 years ago.
Okay.
In the United States, and we joined 40 years ago, and you know, we've been plugging along ever since.
Yeah, I remember interviewing Basil Christie a couple of times.
Right.
In connection with Special Olympics. Oh, it must have been 10 years ago that he
Right.
came on a program with me. Yeah.
Yes. In fact, you have a couple others that you may be aware of. Some of them are still in the program. Amanda Munker, she's been around for years in the program. Anna Christie, she's no longer active in the program. Basil Christie, as you mentioned, we have a couple of people out of Freeport. And we have Miss, her name slips me for the moment, but I'll get back to her name. She'll hang me if I forget her. Yeah. But these persons have really built the foundation that Special Olympics Bahamas is now building upon. And it's really on their backs that you see what you see today. And it is my hope that when this current administration passes the baton, that we are able to pass the program on in a better position than we met it. And that's going to be a tremendous feat, because certainly the guys who went before, they did a fantastic job of laying the foundation for us.
You've had people who disabled in wheelchairs as well participating?
Yes, and that's something I guess we need to explain, because oftentimes Special Olympics Bahamas gets confused with the Paralympics. The Paralympics is, and I don't speak for them, but the Paralympics is the games where persons with amputees in particular participate in those sports. So there's individuals that may have even been professional sportsmen over a period of time, and there now is the Paralympics creates a platform for them to be able to participate in sports. Special Olympics is a program that focuses on persons with intellectual disabilities. And I stress both adults and children. Because again, another myth is that everybody in the program are children. You know, you often hear people talking about the kids or the children. And in some cases that is so, but as you can see, these two ladies with me are certainly far from being kids. Once the primary situation is intellectual disability, then yes, if a person has a physical disability as well, they too are eligible for Special Olympics. So you would see in some situations persons performing some sports from a wheelchair because of their physical disability as well.
I see. Well, that is wide-ranging, because there are a whole lot of people who are intellectually challenged.
You're quite right.
Yes, and so every now and then I get a little intellectually challenged.
and you know, I think all of us actually at times, but you know, having worked with Special Olympics for such a long time, around the athletes for a long time, I would tell you, Mr. Jones, and this is in all seriousness, sometimes after I've spent so much time with the athletes, it really makes you wonder. You know, the society has a normal, so to speak, of its own, and it makes you wonder what then is normal, because I can tell you the gratification of speaking with, of being around, of hanging out with our athletes. I truly believe that the world would be far better off if more people were like our athletes. They hold no grudges. They say what they have to say, and then they move on. And tomorrow, it's a totally different day. And, you know, they always seem to be happy when they're doing anything for you. They give it their all, never cheating the process. And so I can tell you, it is a fantastic experience. You know, you may come in thinking, okay, I'm going to give this towards the program, but honestly, we get back more than we give.
Okay.
Yes, that's one thing that I noticed upon the arrival of everybody when they came in, because the way that everybody was, it was a huge reception, huge greeting, and they were so grateful, like, yes, thank you. But then all the athletes, they went together and they were like hugging each other and high-fiving each other and congratulating each other. And it was a really beautiful thing to witness. And then the Stapleton School, I think that's for intellectually challenged people also. That was my favorite people coming to Nygard Keep, because they were so overwhelmed and grateful of their experience there, and thankful that it just seemed so humbling that you would just want to do more for them. Right. You know, some people could be completely different and arrogant and assuming and stuff like that, and I haven't experienced that before with anybody from
genuinely happy for others.
Yes.
When others do well, there is no envy at all on the part of the athletes. You know, if it's the person next to them, it could be from a different country even, wins the race or wins a gold medal, they are genuinely happy for that individual.
According to the pictures and stuff that I noticed, I loved the way the Bahamas represented themselves, because in all the pictures, even though whoever was on the stage, the Bahamas was like, high-fiving each other, just so happy, and they really looked good, you know, on that stage.
Very good, very good.
United.
Okay, let's take this break here on our program. We are talking Special Olympics today. The Special Olympics Bahamas team has done extremely well in Abu Dhabi. We take this break and we'll come right back.